Whether you're watching this now or you're watching this in a later time, let's take a deep breath together, okay? So take a moment before you even start to consciously breathe, right? Because you're going to unconsciously breathe no matter what, because your body wants to survive. Where are your sits bones or feet? If you're sitting, where are your sits bones? Those are your butt bones. If you're standing, the soles of your feet. So take a moment and just take a conscious collection of how they feel. These are going to be your physical roots into the physical plane. So before I give you a nice deep breath, I want to activate you a little bit. That's what we're doing, by the way, in case you haven't joined me in a meditation before. We're not about to meditate, so if you're driving, don't worry. Sense your sits bones or the soles of your feet on the physical surface that they are on. That is your sensation of your root, and you're rooting into the physical plane with your physical body. Now take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your teeth and relax and be in your body. Feel in right here. Breathe here. That's that heart chakra, directly physically parallel to your lungs. That's your heart chakra. So breathing deeply will always activate us and align us in a way that raises our vibration. So a moment ago I said I'm sensing lots of moods in my audience, and so I thought we should all take that deep breath together to bring us all in as one. Not in a creepy way, like you're still yourself, but as one high vibrating energy in order to tap into a similar energy. Oof. Hi squirrel, love you. So this is so cute. Let's get into it, my loves. Let's get into it. So I want to do my favorite spread that I really haven't done for us. It's got to be like a month now since I've done a tarot spread. Ooh, 3 of Cups, the bottom of the deck. So let's allow this reading to feel like a celebration, an enjoyment of energy, coming into communion with spirit within your own self, and then joining with others who are also spiritual selves. The spread, it's going to be a mood, challenge, solution spread. And I think I want a filter to get the vibe right. I think I need my halo. So keep taking your deep breaths, and know that throughout this reading, if you ever let me use choice words here. If you ever feel emotions coming up in a way that is unexpected, breathe. Oftentimes we physically process blocked energies, and they naturally become unblocked as a perception of emotion. So sometimes you'll feel an emotion, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with a thing that's happening, but it's more a manifestation or a sensation that's manifested by an energy block clearing. So keep that in mind, and never judge yourself for having emotions, because we're humans. And an intuitive message, a little channel message I have before we get into the reading with the cards. Your wholeness, unquestionable and unmistakable. And right now it seems in the collective of human beings on the planet that I'm tapping into. No matter how unmistakable it is what has occurred in each and every one of us, there's still the mental body who is hanging on for control. And some of us are hanging on to the mental body for control, because maybe it's like survival, like a feeling of like, oh no, I'm gonna die. Chances are you're not about to die right now. Hold on, look around. Are you in danger? If you're in danger, get off of my live and get some help. This is not the place to go when you're in danger. This is spiritual guidance. Okay, just a reminder. So with that in mind, a lot of people are sensing or tapping into like this feeling of anxiety, or like a massive cognitive dissonance, or feeling like they can't really participate with reality in a super physical way, what that really is, my loves, is that reality is more available to you, for you to participate with it. And this is more than ever before, and that's what you're feeling. So you're right in feeling there's some shift with how I interact with the world, but what you're feeling is your expanded, increased potential. Welcome to the 5th dimension. In this 6-month period, we've got up until January to traverse the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension. Just promise me you'll end up in the 4th dimension in the upper echelon by January 21st, 2021, so you can make it on the boat, as they say. The 4th dimension is the boat, by the way. You don't want to miss the boat? Don't worry. Just get on the 4th dimension. Take a deep breath. And so I'm admiring, just in my own human self, as I tap in psychically to the collective, I'm admiring the creative and curious ways everyone has chosen to process this new understanding of how we're now able to interact with the physical plane in a more direct way. Everyone's processing it, everyone's integrating this, and everyone is kind of figuring it out in different ways, and it's beautiful, and there's no wrong way to realize that now you're in the 5th dimension, so manifestation is automatic. I've been talking about this for years, it's here. Not only that, I mean manifestation is automatic, not as in the fantasy of, hi kitty, not in the fantasy of like, I want an apple, here it is. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how when you have those dreams, the dream is going good and you're flying, and then all of a sudden you think something scary, and then you wake up or you fall in the dream. Or you're dreaming and you're in the water, and then all of a sudden you think, oh no, I hope there's not a sea creature, and suddenly there's a sea creature. I'm talking about that. Your mind is fully activated as something that aligns you with vibrations. It emits vibrations, it just does its thing. It's a computer doing its thing. Your mind actually holds no real judgment anymore over energies and data. Your mind is doing lots of gorgeous quantum work, but you're not really a part of that. That's not like, you don't get to take credit for that. Every human's mind has this quantum potential and has activated in a quantum nature at this time. Keep taking deep breaths. So I've been saying these specific words. We're able to interact with the physical plane in a more direct way. We are physical bodies. What do I mean by that? Oracle Brigette, what do you mean by that? If you've been watching my content for a while, then you know I like to say this. We are masters of time and space. Human beings, we are the masters of time and space. Only the human being earthling is capable of traversing this field with a soul embodied of the 3rd dimension and up. There are some beings who can interact with humans in physical bodies, not necessarily as humans, but in physical looking humanoid bodies, who do not get to go to the 5th dimension because of the species they are. Certain species are divinely intended to stay in the 3rd dimension. It's divine. Other species, like humans, it's their divine birthright to access the 5th dimensional plane. Parallel to the 3D plane, however, separated by the 4th dimension, at least for the next 6 months. That 4th dimension is there for us as the plane we traverse to go between the two. Because, whereas in the 3rd dimension, beings from the 2nd dimension, astral beings, are able to interact and influence humans, we need that buffer of the 4th dimension between the 3rd and the 5th in order for it to cognitively make sense. Because those low vibrational beings, those other species, they cannot go to the 5th dimension. They can kind of influence a little bit of the lower 4th dimension, but barely. They're more like, if the 4th dimension is the boat, they're more like the assholes that are like on the land watching people going on the boat. Like, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. Like, okay. And so I return to those words. Humans are the masters of time and space. This is our realm and this is our time. We have survived. If you're alive right now, a soul in a human body, you've survived the third dimension. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. That's hell on earth that you were born into and you survived. Oof. Hallelujah. And now the heaven on earth vibration has docked on the planet. We've been preparing and we've been preparing. And finally we have access to this new vibration that we used to only tap into psychically. So we're in a very potent time where we can equally sense the potential to be a low vibrational asshole, resonating third dimensional energies, and the potential to be a true pure earth angel, resonating fifth dimensional energies. This is a specific experience we have for the next 6 months. Not everyone's going to be consciously aware for this spiritual experience. So enjoy it. Yeah, it's weird. Like birthing pains, enjoy it. If you survive this time, if we all survive this time, what stories we're going to tell. So let's enjoy it. And really, what do you want your stories to sound like when you're talking to your grandkids and your great-grandkids if you want to have kids? When you're 70 years old, what kind of stories do you want to tell about the year 2020? How do you want to sound in those stories? Make sure you set up those stories by behaving in the manner that you want. Now, my spirit's telling me that this will not be properly perceived by everyone, but I'm also being informed that I'm going to be understanding these light codes over the next few days. I'm going to have better language to describe this energy I'm tapping into that I'm about to describe to you now. The concept of manifestation is different in the fifth dimension. We have to look at the word manifestation as it's more like basic form. So not like, the idea of spiritual, the idea of the spiritual manifestation where it's like, oh, you visualize and you vision board and you like The Secret and all the things that we've added onto The Secret after. Yeah. Manifestation in the higher dimensional plane means bringing something into being, or as a result of. That's it. It's just the product at the end of the equation. Manifestation is the innate four, whereas in the third and fourth dimension, this concept of manifestation was kind of magical, and we had to practice it, and we were able to practice it and explore it, because that's what the fourth dimension is, learning how to handle 5D, right? Learning. It's that boat, learning how to get to 5D. So, all of that was preparation for what it's like in 5D. In 5D, it's like there's no third party between you and that which you want to manifest. You are the one who brings it into being. Whether you manifest it by literally speaking it into being, or you manifest it through your physical body by taking the bricks and putting them together. That's it. That's it. Wishing you had something else, thinking something better is out there, feeling competitive or jealous are all signs that you are not on your way to 5D. Those are all signs you're actively lowering. Everything is divine. Everything is divine. The only reason I can properly function as a god on earth, as a goddess on earth, on the fifth dimensional plane, is because I'm aware of this concept of co-creation. Everything, humans on earth in the fifth dimensional plane are the divine feminine. Whether they're masculine, they have penises or vaginas. They're elements of the divine feminine. They are the creation, the feminine component. This is one vibration. I could describe a way that we're all the masculine too, but just stay with me with this light code, okay? I'm channeling. So we're all the divine feminine. And I say that because the divine masculine that is required, you know, the sperm and the egg that is required to make the child, to make the creation. We are the egg. Humans are the egg, and the universe is the seed. And so it's very crucial that we also continue to make space in our life for the understanding and the coming into communion with this concept of divinity in our own lives. There are things we definitely do control, and there are things that are clearly divine. And there is no fighting that. There is the understanding that everything is divine. If it has already manifested, there is no point in questioning why. Rather, the point is to see the divinity in it and allow it to raise you upward, as it is divinely intended to. And so, returning to the very beginning of this light code, we now have a more direct relationship with the physical plane and our physical bodies. In the past, let's just say there was a little something between us. A veil, you could say, a force, perhaps, that was causing us to, a veil is the best term I could think of, causing us to not truly, properly see what's in front of us and how I can actually touch it and pick it up and say, I'd rather manifest this clip as open. I'm truly a master of time and space. For a while, many were under the spell that they did not have permission to directly interact with space, time and space. That they had to ask someone's permission. It's an interesting thing to bring through. And so allow your spirit to claim its innate sovereignty over your body, and allow yourself to claim sovereignty over your body and soul. Take full-on ownership for all the things that come out of you. And if it's not coming out of you, then don't take credit for it like that. And acknowledge the divine. Spirit also wants to remind us that we will continue to see reflections of ourselves in other people. So as we meet people and interact with people, whatever qualities we find ourselves really noticing are the reflections that Spirit is like, clear this up. Okay? So let yourself get some tough love when you're out in the world. Or however you're interacting with reality, you are going to get feedback. It's natural. Like, no one's at their highest vibrational place. Everyone's at their highest vibrational place yet. Like, it's divine, right? So in every moment, I'm at my highest potential because that's all I can fucking do, because the moment's passed and now I'm in a new moment. La, 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 la. With that said, no one has, oh shit, I can't, Spirit, what are you trying to have me say? But I can't say. New language, okay. As we traverse the upward slope of going from the third to the fourth to the fifth dimension, we come to learn that we're defining ourselves. And as we define ourselves, our body is really manifesting the direct response to that. So a lot of people are making themselves sick on purpose. And that's crazy, but a lot of people's magic is activated and they don't realize that they are literally manifesting their own sickness. And sickness, soul sickness, physical sickness. And I don't mean manifesting it from the outside in. I mean from the inside out. So, watch what you're telling yourself. You're spelling that against yourself. You're spelling that against yourself. Continue to trust that every day you awake, you are anew. Each night your soul travels, evolves, learns new things, fights battles, and closes out old timelines. And so each day that you awake, you are anew. Hold space for yourself each morning and for the divinity that is your soul, and honoring whatever work it did the night before, whether you remember it or not. Allow yourself to honor yourself and honor that fertile moment of meeting yourself for the first time each day with the new light codes that you have embodied. I want to go a little bit back to that reflection thing I was saying. Just had to get some specific messages out there. Okay. So you're going to be seeing reflections of yourself in other people. The things or behaviors about other people that you really seem to notice. That is spirit saying, look at this in yourself. Look at this in yourself. Look at this in yourself. Okay? You know you are becoming more dimensional and raising in vibration as you come to understand that you are more than you thought you are. This means you get access to different perspectives of yourself. This will mean that just like how every day we awake, we are anew. If we were to continue on that track, that means that ways you go about doing things innately will change. Allow yourself to change at rapid rates at this time. Massive evolution is possible. The physical mind and physical body sometimes need to be retrained. Allow yourself to awake each day and notice what new soul training your mind has undergone in your sleep state. Speaking in a different manner, using different words. Hold space for yourself every day to have epiphanies and how you would like your evolution into your highest vibrational self to manifest. How do you think that's going to look? You might be like at least 60% spot on. And you may be able to facilitate that process faster. For the most part, your soul and your body are naturally evolving as much as they want, just constantly healing and upgrading. It's your free will. It's your power. That's your free will, your consciousness. That is what is either facilitating that process or like actively hindering it and causing your body and soul to work harder. So what you say matters. What you say to yourself and others matters. Especially what you say to your mind, because you are programming your body. I know these light codes are not new light codes. I'm sure thousands of spiritual teachers have said them before. But truly the words you say are spelling, and you can be doing spells against yourself simply by speaking negatively to your own self. How do you want to be? Like ideally, how do you want to be? Make sure you hold space for yourself to be that. Because it's one thing to want it, but it's another thing to want it but not believe it's meant for you, and that's super self-abusive and fucked up. Because if your highest self wants something, then it's divinely intended for you. The only reason your heart will long for something is because you actually tapped into a future timeline through the portal of your 5D heart chakra in which you have that. And then you bounce back into your now moment and you're like, ooh, I've had a taste of the future, baby. I know I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But some people forget about that. That wasn't some aberrant, weird vision you had of, oh, I'm going to do this thing. No, dude, you've done it. There's a parallel future timeline here that you've already done it on. The only reason the heart chakra, your heart, your soul, would guide you towards a want or desire is literally because you have everything within you to manifest it, to do it. It's no longer manifesting. Like, I'm not supposed to use that word anymore. But at the same time, I'm using that word because as I'm retraining myself, I hope to also offer you guys those light codes so you can decide whether or not you want to do that for yourself too. La 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 la. Okay. Apparently I really needed to go live to get these messages out because, yeah, they just keep coming. I feel like my hair keeps getting bigger too. I love it. I love it. Okay. So So we're going to continue to receive or to get access to different facets and avenues, perceptions of our own self. You won't have to see reflections in other people if you're willing to self-reflect. I'll repeat. You will not need to experience or see reflections in other people if you yourself are willing to self-reflect. If every day you are anew, you have access to new innate light codes and knowledge in your soul and mind and body. Just let your consciousness hold space for you to be better. And your body will be like, fucking finally, thank you, boom, I'm better. And then you hold a little more space, and boom, and I'm better again. And then you hold a little more space, and it's like, boom, I'm better. And then you hold even more space, it's like, oh shit, I got it now. It's literally up to me to hold the space for myself to be that which I want to manifest. And that's why, like, manifestation is this, like, thing where it's like, oh, the universe gives it to you. It's like, no, bitch. The universe is going to give you something. It's divinely intended for you, whether you vibrate it or not. But then you also do have to deal with this concept and law of reflection. So if you're not self-reflecting, the soul and the body and the universe still want you to evolve. So then you're going to have these people and these experiences come into your life that are going to reflect back to you the things that you need to get done with already and move up from. And it's true. Some people will spend many of physical incarnations, many lifetimes in human bodies, stuck in some weird reflection loop where they're just dealing with character and after character to show them soul work and reflections. But don't worry, because the soul work you do in every lifetime does carry over into the next lifetime. So maybe the reason why you're here on this 5D life with me now talking about the fifth dimension is because you've already had 20 lifetimes where you didn't make it to the fifth dimension. So good work, babe. Good work. Good work. And so self-reflecting is super powerful because we now know that we have this additional wise self, this additional wisdom, soul wisdom, power every day because of the soul work we do in the dream state. So every day we awake with that new power, that new wisdom. Let that wisdom communicate to you. Hold space for yourself to have an inner wisdom that will communicate to you, and be willing to take whatever tough love that inner wisdom may want to give you. Be willing to receive whatever inner feedback that inner bigger self may want to give you. And if you're unwilling, then trust someone on the outside world will make that feedback obvious to you. Or not. You can choose to stay ignorant and just fucking cycle in that loop. Doesn't sound fun though, or exciting. It sounds dramatic and also boring at the same time. So that means self-reflection becomes a regular part of the day, becomes a regular part of who I am. I'm a naturally self-reflective person, I tell myself every day, and I identify as a self-reflective person, and I hold space for myself on the daily, whenever I can fucking remember, to self-reflect. What does self-reflection mean? Simply that, allowing that inner soul wisdom to gaze upon how the human is choosing to behave and ensuring that they are in alignment, because oftentimes you will find they are not. There is much external influence that is demonic in nature, intended to trap you into loops, to keep you in the third dimension, so that they have you to feed off of after January 21st, 2021, when all those gates close. When the 4D boat leaves. So, external influences, yeah, it's true. Reflections will occur, but even when those reflections occur in the external, let's say you don't self-reflect, and then you experience something where you're like, oh my God, I keep noticing this in this person. Oh, and then you're like, oh my God, I do that. Some people refuse to do that. Oh my God, I do that. Some people refuse to do the self-reflective part. Oh my God, I hate how this person talks. They're so whatever. And you say that out loud and your friend's like, bro, you're the same. It's like, oh shit. But sometimes you don't have a friend that's going to be there. And so you got to be there for yourself. Oh, I do that. That's self-reflection. And saying, okay, if that's how I feel when someone else does that, then how do I feel when I do that? That's self-reflection. And that at least will, facilitate your process in raising your vibration and limit the chances of us getting stuck in these loops of self-reflection because we refuse to be self-reflective. Amen to that. Thank you, Spirit. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just over here thanking my spirit because I'm grateful. Okay, I know I said I was going to do a tarot reading. I started this video with like, I don't want to do too much work. I've been doing a lot of channel messages. I'm just going to do a tarot reading. Hold on. I have one channeled message. I don't know how long I've been live, but it feels like it's maybe been like 30 minutes. Thank you for holding space for me. I have more to say, but I have to fix my tits a little bit. I want to play with my hair. So I want to make sure I close out these light codes before I go back to pure human mode. So we're going to start to really have access to heightened self-awareness. We're going to start to really reflect naturally because we have access to it. Why? Because the fifth dimension is here now, and self-reflection is a natural prerequisite to even entering the fifth dimension. Before you feel powerless, see if you can touch it and change it. Before you feel powerless, see if you can say something to change it. Remember that. If you feel powerless in any situation, beaten down, can you do something with your physical body to change it? Can you say something with your voice to change it? Not always. But sometimes those are moments provided to you for activation of your next level of power. And those are my channeled messages for us in this energy report. Thank you and I love you. Okay. How'd you like them? How do you feel? How was it? I liked it. It felt good. How do you feel? Okay. I have to keep the fidgeting to a minimum when I channel, or I distract myself with my reflection. So then I have to save all my fidgeting for the very end. That was fun. That felt really great to channel those messages. Yay. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, thank you. Hey, my love, come on in. I just finished channeling. It felt really great. I don't know how long I've been live. I would still also like to do some specific spiritual guidance with the tarot cards. Thank you so much. Yay. Okay. I think I want to just enjoy these light codes and hang out with you for a second. Enjoy this energy that we just connected with. Just kind of vibing it. Life can take a lot more peaceful standpoint. We can exist in a very neutral bliss state, almost full time, when we start to really recognize and acknowledge the true power there is in knowing that you have sole responsibility over your energy field and vibration. And every day you awake, remember, you will be shown that if with more clarity, every day you will have an expanded perspective with which to perceive your own self, to continue to facilitate your own expansion. Because in the end, if we ever want to manifest something into the physical plane, aka if we want to touch it with our body, if we really want to interact with something on the physical plane, you gotta vibe with it first. So how do you want to be? Hold space for yourself to be that. That will create the environment of patience so that you don't put such a demand on the body to change like this, boop, although sometimes that's totally possible. But sometimes it requires the setting of this desire, like, or some would say an intention, but I'd like to use different language. The setting of this heart desire, like, ooh, I wish I could be this way. And it's like, hold on, let me just hold space for myself to be this way. If I wish I could be a certain way, then there must be some validity to the curiosity. I should at least give it a try before I just decide that I'm a loser and I've lost and I'm not possible. I can't be that way. Like, you hold space for that to potentially become a potential. You see, in that process of holding space, you allow the universe to fill it if it needs to. So the universe may very well bring that exact thing directly to you, and you may auto-manifest it because the universe has been dying to offer that to you. It was just waiting for you to hold space for that blessing. So that's a thing. So that's why sometimes people think it's called auto-manifestation for that, and that's what I used to think too. I used to make apple jokes. I want an apple, zoom, apple. No, it's more like the universe has been dying to give you this apple, and finally you're like, oh, I think my soul wants to manifest an apple. And then you hold the space and then boom, apple. That's what happens. I'm also being shown like the image of, you know, a woman when she has a baby. It's like this pressure builds up. And if the baby's in that like perfect position where the head's like that and the feet are like that, then boop, that baby just boop, plops right out. Especially in the videos of the water births. Oh my God. Boop. It's almost like the universe sucked the baby out. That's birth, right? So yay for us, and yay for that. I feel amazing. So I'm gonna close out this video so that I can keep these light codes in their own little space, in their own little video. And then I'll go live in just a few moments and I'll do our tarot reading. I love you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in a minute.